So once again I welcome on the class of construction management. So today I will discuss about the firstly I will discuss some problems based on the program evaluation and review technique, and after that I will discuss the about the event time, what is earliest expected time and what is latest allowable time. So today I will discuss about the what is the normal range and what is the overall range or overall duration of the project in PERT. So the normal range of the project is generally mu plus minus sigma, where mu is the mean value or expected time value along the critical path, and sigma is the standard deviation along the critical path. So the range will be mu minus sigma to mu plus sigma, and the maximum or overall range of the project is can be represented by mu plus minus 3 sigma, where mu is the sum of expected time along the critical path or mean time along the critical path, and sigma is the standard deviation along the critical path. So the range is mu minus 3 sigma to mu plus 3 sigma. So let us take some problems. The time estimate obtained from four contractors PQRS. These are the contractors PQRS for executing a particular job are as under. Contractor P has optimistic time P, most likely time 10, and pessimistic time 13. Similarly, contractor Q has optimistic time 6, most likely time 9 minutes and 12. And contractor R, the optimistic time is 5, 10, 14. Similarly, it is given. So which one of these contractor is more certain about completion of job in time? So as I told you in the previous class that firstly we have to compute the standard deviation, and lesser value of the standard deviation will be able to complete the job. There is a more chances to complete the job on the time, and higher value of standard deviation means the higher value of uncertainty to complete the job. So lower the value of standard deviation, higher the value of reliability. So firstly we have to check the standard deviation. So we know the standard deviation expression is TP minus T0 by 6. So we can compute standard deviation for contractor P is TP minus T0 by 6, and the TP pessimistic time is 13 minus 5. So we can write 13 minus 5 divided by 6. So it is 8 by 6. Or we can write 4 by 3 means 1.33. Similarly, the standard deviation for contractor Q can be computed as TP minus T0 by 6. So the for contractor Q the pessimistic time is 12 minus 6. So it will be 12 minus 6 divided by 6. So it is 1. Similarly, the standard deviation for contractor R can be computed as TP minus T0 by 6. So for contractor R, the pessimistic time TP minus T0 by 6. So the pessimistic time for the contractor R is 14 minus 5. 14 minus 5 divided by 6. So it is 9 by 6. So it will be 1.5. So similarly, the standard deviation for the contractor S can be computed as sigma S is equal to TP minus T0 by 6, and the standard deviation pessimistic time is 13 minus 4. So it can be written as 13 minus 4 divided by 6, 9 by 6. So it is once again 1.5. So we can see that the standard deviation of contractor R and contractor S is same. So there is a same probability to complete the finish the time. But for the higher standard deviation for R and S, so there is a lesser chances to complete the job, or there is less chances or more uncertainty to complete the job in contractor R and contractor S, and the lesser value for Q. So we can write lesser value of standard deviation for contractor Q. So contractor Q has chances to complete their job within time. So the correct option is B. Similarly, let us take another question. There are 4 consecutive activities in a sample linear network, each with a mean duration of t. There are 4 consecutive activities. So mean can be computed as mu1 plus mu2 plus mu3 plus mu4, and the mean is equal, that is t plus t plus t plus t, that is 4t, according to the central limit theorem. Okay, and each with k as the standard deviation, and all the 4 activities has the same standard deviation. So standard deviation can be computed as a square root of sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square plus sigma 3 square plus sigma 4 square. So it will be k square plus k square, 4k square means it will be 2k. Okay, so the overall project duration through the activity is likely to be low. So as I discussed today, that the normal range of the project is mu plus minus sigma, and overall range is mu plus minus 3 sigma. So the overall range can be written as overall range can be written as mu plus minus 3 sigma. So mu is 4t plus minus 3 into 2k. So it will be 4t plus minus 6k. So we can see that 4t plus minus 6k means D is the correct response. This is the another question. A father notes that when his teenage daughter uses the telephone, she takes no less than 5 minutes for a call, but sometimes as much as an hour. 15-minute calls are more frequent than call of any other duration. If the daughter calls were to be represented as an activity in PERT project, the expected duration of each phone call is, and the options are, these are the options. So here is 3 times are given, and as I know that in PERT there are 3 time estimates, and that is optimistic time, pessimistic time, and most likely time. So the optimistic time is the minimum time, so minimum time is 5 minutes. So if I draw the, so this is the distribution, and optimistic time is given how much, 5 minutes, and the most likely time is 15 minutes, and pessimistic time is 1 hour, means 60 minutes. That is pessimistic, most likely, and optimistic time. Completion of time versus activity. So the expected time can be computed as T0 plus 4TL plus TP by 6. So if I write expected time, T is the expected time, that is equal to weighted mean T0 plus 4TL plus TP by 6. So we can write optimistic time is 5 minutes, most likely time is 15 minutes, plus pessimistic time is 60 minutes, divided by 6. So it will be 125 by 6. So it will be 20. So the option D is the correct. Expected time is 125 by 6 minutes. We can see 125 by 6 minutes. Let us take another problem. A linear project is split into 6 identical activities, each having duration of 4, 8 and 10 days. 6 identical activities means each activity has same optimistic time, pessimistic time and most likely time. And the optimistic time is 4 days, most likely time is 8 days and pessimistic time is 10 days, which results in the standard deviation of the duration for the complete project being x1 days. As the alternative attempts at project planning, the earliest split 6 activity is clubbed as first and second, third and fourth, and fifth and sixth, thus needing to consider only 3 now modified activities, and the standard deviation of the duration for this for the completed project is now repeated as x2 days. So what will be the ratio of x2 by x1? So the solution, each activity has optimistic time is how much? 4 days. Optimistic time is 4 days. Most likely time is 8 days and pessimistic time is 10 days. Pessimistic time is 10 days. So the standard deviation of each activity is equal, and if I write the standard deviation for the each activity for 6 activities, sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, sigma 4, sigma 5 and sigma 6, and that is all equal, so we can write Tp minus T0 by 6. So Tp is 10 minus 4 divided by 6, so it will be 1. So the standard deviation for each activity is 1. So it is 1 days. So the standard, according to the central limit theorem, the standard deviation along the critical path is equal to a square root of sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square plus sigma 3 square plus sigma 4 square plus sigma 5 square plus sigma 6 whole square. So if I compute this one, so it will be 1 square plus 1 square, so it will be 6 root under 6 days. Now these 6 activities converted into 3 activities and clubbed, 2 activities clubbed, activity 1 and 2, first and second, third and fourth, and fifth and sixth. So the standard deviation can be written as standard deviation can be written as sigma 1 is equal to sigma 2 is equal to 1 square plus 1 square, so it is root 2. Similarly, sigma 3 is equal to sigma 4 is equal to 1 square plus 1 square, so it will be root 2. And similarly, sigma 5 is equal to sigma 6 is equal to 1 square plus 1 square, so it is root 2. So the overall standard deviation can be written as root 2 square plus root 2 square plus root 2 square, so it will be root under 6 days. And according to the question, this is x2 and this is x1, because the standard deviation is given for the first 6 activities. The standard deviation is named as x1 days, and once it is clubbed, then the standard deviation is x2. So the ratio can be computed as ratio is, so ratio, that is x2 by x1 is equal to root 6 by root 6, that is unity. So we can see that option D is correct. This is the another question. A, B, C, D, E are the 5 activities along the unique critical path of activity on arrow network of the activities. Their characteristics are as under. So these are the activity A, B, C, D, E. Expected time is given. Here the 3 time estimates is not given. Directly with the help of these 3 time estimates, directly expected time is given for activity A, B, C, D, E, and the standard deviation is given for activity A, B, C, D, E. What is the possible range of project duration in days? So this is also the possible range is mu plus minus 3 sigma. So we can write the standard deviation along the critical path. So let sigma be the standard deviation along the critical path. So it can be written as sigma a square plus sigma b square plus sigma c square plus sigma d square plus sigma e square. So it will be the standard deviation of A, B, C, D is given 2, 2, 3, 4, 1. So if I write 2 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square plus 1 square. So it is 4, 4, 8, 9, 17. It can be written as 4 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus 1. So it is root under 34. So root under 34 can be written as square root of 34. Square root of 34. So it is 5.83. 5.83 days. Similarly, the mean can be computed as the mean can be computed along the critical path. So mean can be written as mu is equal to mu a plus mu b plus mu c plus mu d plus mu e, or we can write expected time a plus expected time b plus expected time for the c plus expected time d plus expected time e. So if I sum the value, so the it will be 7 plus 6 13 plus 11 24 24 24 and 5 29 29 plus 14 43. So it will be 43 days. So the range is, overall range is equal to mu plus minus 3 sigma, or we can write mu minus 3 sigma to mu plus 3 sigma. So we can write 43 minus 3 into standard deviation value is how much? 5.83. 5.83 to 43 plus 3 into 5.83. So if I compute 43 minus 3 into 5.83, so it is coming 25.51 to 43 plus 3 into 5.83. So it is coming 60.49. 60.49. 49. So this is the overall range of the project. So the overall range is 25.51 to 60.49. So if I match the option, so 60.49 means 60.5 and 25.5. So the option C is correct. Option C is correct. Next question. This question is asked in GATE 2016. The optimistic time, most likely time, and pessimistic time in days of the activities in the critical path are given. So these are the critical path. E, F, G, H, I is the critical path that is given in the question. Is given. So we have to compute the expected completion time or mean of this network diagram. So firstly we have to compute the expected time. So expected time can be computed as for this for EF. So the expected time we can write T is equal to how much? 8 plus 40 plus 14. So how much it will be? 8 plus 40 plus 14 divided by 6. So it will be 10.33. 10.33. Similarly, for FG, it will be 6 plus 32 plus 11 divided by 6. So it will be 8.167. T is 8.17. Similarly, T is how much? So 5 plus 4 into 7. 28 plus 10 divided by 6. So it will be 7.17. 7.17. Similarly, for this, the expected time is 7 plus 4 into 12 plus 18 by 6. So it will be 7 plus 48 plus 18 divided by 6. So it will be 12.17. 12.17. So the expected time along the critical path can be computed as expected time along the critical path can be computed as expected time for EF plus FG, expected time for EF plus expected time of FG plus expected time of GH plus expected time of HI. So if I write the value of expected time is 10.33, 10.33 plus 8.17, 8.17 plus 7.17, 7.17 plus 12.17. So it will be 10.33 plus 8.17 plus 7.17 plus 12.17. So it will be 37.84. 37.84 days is the mean value or expected time along the critical path. So in days, the expected completion time is how much? 37.84 days. So this question is asked in GATE 2016, and the remaining question that is I have solved, that is from the engineering services examination. So so many questions I have solved. So now I am going to start about the event time. So there are two types of event time. The first one is called earliest expected event time, and the second one is latest allowable event time. So what is earliest expected event time? So the earliest time in which an event may be expected to occur in a particular project. So that is called earliest expected event time. An event occur when all the activity leading to it are completed, and it is denoted by TE. If not mentioned, earliest expected time of the initial event is not given, then we have to assume as a 0. So how do we compute the earliest expected time? So let us assume this is our I and j are the two events, and for the completion of this activity the time taking is Tij, and this is Tei, and this is called Tej. So Tej can be written as Tei plus Tij. Similar, similarly it can also be written as if more than one event, like this event is I, this is j, another event is I dash, and third event is I double dash. This is Tij, Ti dash j, Ti double dash j. This is Tei, this is Tei dash. This is earliest expected time, Ti, earliest starting time of this event, and this is Tej. So Tej can be written as, what is Tei plus Tij? Tei plus Tij, or Tei dash plus Ti dash j, or Tei double dash plus Ti double dash j, and whichever is maximum. So maximum value we have to take for the Tej. Similarly, the latest allowable occurrence time. So it is the latest time in which an event may allow to occur in a particular project without affecting the scheduled completion time of the project. For no delay, latest allowable occurrence time of the finish event must not be greater than the scheduled completion time of the project. So if I compute the latest allowable time, so let us say, first example, this is event I, this is I event, j event, and the time to complete this activity is Tij, this is Tei, and this is TLJ, TLI. So TLJ is the latest allowable time. It can be written as, sorry, TLI can be written as TLJ minus Tij. This is TLI. Latest allowable time for the event I can be computed as TLJ minus Ti jo. So this is the first example I have taken. Let us assume the event I, and this is event j, and the Tij is the time for the completion of this activity. So the latest allowable time for event I can be written as latest allowable time for the event j minus Tij. Similarly, if I take the another example, so this is I, this is j, j dash, J double dash. So the time is Tij, Tij dash, Tij double dash, and it is TLI, latest allowable time for the event I, and this is TLJ, this is TLJ dash, and latest allowable time for the event J double dash is TLJ double dash. So it can be written as TLI can be written as TLJ minus TIJ, or TLJ dash minus TIJ dash, or TLJ double dash minus TIJ double dash, whichever is less, or the minimum value will be the latest allowable time for the event I. Once again I am telling that the latest allowable time for the predecessor event of J dash or J double dash can be written as latest allowable time for the event J minus Tij, or latest allowable time for J dash J double event J double dash minus Tij dash, or latest allowable time for J double dash minus Tij dash. So if I write TLI is equal to TLJ minus Tij, or TLJ dash minus Tij dash, or TLJ double dash minus Tij double dash, whichever is minimum value or lesser. Minimum value will be the latest allowable time for the event I, or predecessor event of J dash or J double dash. So today I have discussed about the normal range of the project and overall range of the project. So in the part we have seen that the normal range of the project is mu plus minus sigma, and the overall range of the project is mu plus minus 3 sigma, where mu is the expected time or mean value of the network along the critical path, and sigma is the standard deviation along the critical path. After that, I have discussed the few problems based on the part analysis, and in the last, I have discussed about the event time. There are two types of event time: earliest expected time and latest allowable time. So, in the next class, I will discuss about the slack, what is the use of slack, and on the basis of slack value we will decide the whether the path is critical path, supercritical, or subcritical, or we can see that project is behind the schedule, ahead of schedule, or on time. And after that I will discuss the how to compute the probability of a to complete a job, that will be discussed in the next class. So take care of your health and happy learning.